Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard. Today we're going to see the top landscape projects in Vermont. With the weather warming, you may be thinking about your own outdoor projects. So for fun and inspiration, we're going to look at award-winning landscapes done by Vermont professionals who are members of the Vermont Nursery and Landscape Association. The projects can cost several $1,000s or just a few hundred, but they are breathtaking and often incorporate native plants or locally sourced materials like stone or wood. So to find out more, I am joined by a frequent guest from UVM, horticulturalist Leonard Perry. Welcome, and you have brought a special guest, Leonard.
I have.
So introduce us.
It's great to be back with Ashley Robinson for the first time with this awards program. She's now in charge of this program of the Vermont Nursery and Landscape Association, a group I work with. This is the 10th year of this program.
Wow.
And Ashley's here to help guide us through some of these award-winning designs. And I think they're great not only, as you mentioned, for inspiration on the big picture, but there's a lot of little take-home ideas, even if it's a plant, a little curve in the walk, something like that to watch for in these.
Okay, awesome. Inspiration. So Ashley, tell us just briefly about the design contest.
Yeah, so as Leonard said, we're in our 10th year, so we really continue to encourage our members to submit projects. You know, it's a great way to showcase all the wonderful talent and work that's done throughout the state. So we have 3 different categories of awards. We have an Excellence Award, an Honor Award, and a Merit Award. And each project, it's important to note, is judged on its own merit. So, you know, these projects are not judged against each other. They're really taken into account with a series of categories. So each project in itself is looked at individually. Categories like whether the client was their goals were reached, you know, level of difficulty, sustainability issues, if those were certain things that were addressed. So there's a series of categories, and it's a lengthy process that the judges go through to really judge each project individually. It's an exciting process.
Oh, how interesting. Yeah. So I'm eager to see the winners.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. What are we starting with?
Oh, I'm sorry, we're starting with the Excellence winner.
Okay.
And this is the top winning project of the year. This was a hillside project that went through a great transformation. This is a before picture, clearly. And then we have the after, which is obviously a massive transformation. This was, because it was a hillside project, there are a lot of challenges that go along with this sort of site. So the site was terraced, and as you can see, really benefited from the lines, the different beds that were carved out of this. Views were opened up. A lot of interesting native plant material was also planted here. We can see that this was
this was the upper terrace,
right.
Which, and again, should mention Charlie Prout of Distinctive Landscaping in Charlotte was the designer for this. And just, I think the thing to watch here, look at some of the paving materials. They cleared out some of the old brush, and then afterwards they put in these new stone pavers and kept some of that on the left Pachysandra ground cover, just no mulch, just all green.
Yep, there was some issue about whether some mobility issues that needed to be addressed too with the site. So obviously it was treacherous from the get-go, and with this nice creative mix of stone, we were able to kind of have a sure-footing situation there. So this is a view from the street.
Yeah, this is late summer, and just again looking back up before we were looking down. And just a lot of beautiful use of plant materials. And here's an example that I like of a closer up of that bed down near the street, showing what you can have. That's one of the questions I always get, you know, how can my garden look nice in late summer? Well, here's an idea. You have some of the late phlox and hydrangeas, the Rudbeckia, the black-eyed Susan plant, the lamb's ears, the silvery leaves on that. So there's an anemone in there, perennial anemone. So there's just a lot of great plants you can have for late summer bloom.
Yeah,
right. So much color late summer, because that's not always easy. And so some of the terraces were already there, and they enhanced those.
They did. So they made it a little bit more gradual, a little bit, you know, the lines flowed a little bit easier. It was nicer to sort of circulate through that site. And then of course exciting plant material really helps energize the site. So
right, fabulous. So what's the next award?
Then we have an honor award. This one is a project that.
Yeah, we have a couple of those winners.
Yes, we do.
In
We have
that,
two.
we'll take a look. Here is, the before picture again, which, because they just pulling back, but mainly this landscape is along that house. So we'll take a look at the after effect on that.
Yeah,
Again, amazing. David Burton of DeStefano Landscaping in Essex Junction did this.
This really benefited from the site, or excuse me, the corridor effect that was created here with the stonework and then the various rooms that were then installed. Beautiful sitting areas. The birch create a nice framework for the site. So the client was thrilled with this. They spent lots of summer evenings.
I like the
and
feather
days
reed
after that,
grass
yeah.
right by the walk there. That's upright grass, just
Yeah.
great for, an effect there. This is a great patio, fire pit. If you got a small area, how about a trellis up against the wall there? You can grow vines on. Just real nice. And then this is the next winner.
This is also an honor project, honor awarded project.
Now watch the transformation here. Flat, again, White House back, but then afterwards,
Oh my.
Yeah.
amazing. And this is Carolyn Dudek of Landshapes in Richmond did this design. And one of the things I like is the different you saw before. It was flat. Look at the elevation changes.
Yeah. Lots of terraces, so various places to sit, entertain, enjoy. The leveling here was, the various change of level and grade was something that the judges really recommend.
I thought this was amazing how that pool went in. It's one
The
unit
installation on this
had
was-
to get this big crane to lift that thing in, make the bed for it. So that's how pools go in
Remarkable.
sometimes.
Right.
Then of course a close-up of the finished patio, again with a lot of ground cover plants, not a lot of mulch, which I think is great. And then you have all the paving there. So.
And the different rooms and areas,
Yeah.
I like that you call them rooms, and the grasses that people are using now
Yeah, I
are
think
just
there's a couple
stunning.
of real good observations. The grasses that can use a real nice vertical effect and multi-season effect. See, habitat for wildlife,
Right.
and then creating those garden rooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. So take us to the rest
So
of the
then
winners.
The final category is merit winners.
So is this kind of graded?
excuse
So
me.
there's the top, and then there's the honor, which are kind of second.
Yep.
And then these are the
and then
really
merit.
good, but
Also
yeah, really
award-worthy,
terrific. Okay,
of course.
And here's the before of the next one, and then a couple things to notice: the front of the house, the siding, the color, and then all those overgrown junipers, which have disappeared. They actually work with a homeowner to change the siding, make it, and then the plantings here, just very, took out all those overgrown plants and put in new ones. And Elizabeth Proud of Distinctive Landscaping in Charlotte did this one.
Yeah, they really opened this up. It was such a tight entry. This really
And the
benefited.
same with this walk here, very
Yeah.
tight, overgrown, invasive,
Much more
plants
inviting.
there. Much more open there, and with a little landing up at the top, small terrace on the top.
Always hard to take things out, but sometimes so important.
Yeah, sometimes you really
yeah.
just have to. Yeah, and this was the next winner in this merit category. This is before gravel drive around the garage, and then the little planting we'll see on the right. In the after picture, which is, again, this was Stefano Landscaping. Jeremiah Shook on Essex Junction did this.
Yep. And that's the after. Developed a beautiful entry courtyard that really, I think, pairs nicely with the architecture of the house. So that was an important thing that the judges really highlighted there.
Just some real nice flowers, as you'll see when you come in. It's near a lake. Here's the steps going down the lake. Again, kind of overgrown. And then you see afterwards, incredible transformation there.
Yes.
Lighting really
The lighting
benefits
yes.
from adding.
And then the next winner, we have two more, is the driveway before in South Hero. You can see just a lot of ice and water on that. This client really wanted some paving, so you can see that's a lot of
That's a
hand-laid
lot
paving.
of paving.
And
Quite
you
the-
can see this was a huge grade challenge, so that's where this benefited from this particular award. So
And the Grass
massive
Gauchos in
improvement.
Burlington did this one.
Yeah.
A couple of designers on that, and this was interesting, a bird's eye view. The client wanted a very linear kind of planting, so you see up by the house in the top, everything kind of lined up there. So again,
That's
a
so
very
interesting.
different view than you normally
Right.
see. And then this was
Yeah.
the final one. This was a new construction, Charlotte looking south toward the lake, new home. And then after Miles Weston and Christian Dondria from Distinctive Landscaping, you see the top.
Yeah, this is simple, effective, but really appealing, and just created a nice, sustainable landscape with a meadow, and you know, really just these deliberate carved paths and minimal lawn. That's what was so nice about this.
And then a nice area up top,
Yeah,
a
sitting
pea
area.
gravel
And a
with
nice
a nice
room.
edging to keep that gravel within, but you see the view there, just and some trees to help frame that view, which I think is something people can keep in mind as
Take
well.
away from, yeah.
Well, they're beautiful, and you can really see from before and after how landscaping just really makes a difference, probably in the way you feel about your home, but certainly probably also in property values.
It sure does.
Absolutely, yeah.
So, Ashley, this contest is sponsored each year, as we've
Yep.
said, by your professional association. So tell us just a little bit about the association itself.
Yeah, we have nearly 200 members, and we are a professional organization, as you said. Members range from horticulturalists, arborists, landscape designers, landscape architects, people in the trade who really are dedicated to their craft, stonemasons too, who are interested in really promoting and educating the public themselves, collaborating on projects. It's a great way to really get to know other people, like-minded people doing the kind of work in the state.
And Leonard, you do work with the
I
organization.
do. I help them with the flower show, one of their projects, with a certified
beautiful. Yeah.
horticulturist
Just
program.
finished
They
that.
certify
Yeah.
horticulturists, another one. They have this awards contest, so just a lot of great things they do, outreach to the public.
Yeah.
And another thing they do is I work with them on a garden tour each year. We're going back to Montreal this September. People can go to my website, Perry's Perennial pages, perrysperennials.info or .com, and the link is there for the registration material. That's September 16th, Montreal Botanic Gardens.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
what a wonderful organization. I love
Yeah.
the flower show this year. It's
Yes.
always
Excellent.
really fun. So thank you so much, Leonard
you.
and Ashley, for sharing these beautiful projects with us. We hope people continue to do it and
Yeah.
inspire
Thanks
all
for
of us.
having us.
Joining us across the fence. I'm Fran Stoddard.